Oh, hello, everybody. There are some times you just want to jump on and record. And I just wanted to record a very short, tiny CEO. And I wanted to just record this moment. So I had it logged in history because tonight we had the premiere on the network of Hot Wieners. Now, if you remember, Pat Ford, Ron, Johnny Warren, they went into studio with Kirk recently and they basically shit all over the Minifan network, said what a bad state it was in. They made claims about how, especially Pat Ford would, shit all over me, shit all over Kane, and then they made claims. Oh, we're going to do this revolutionary show. We're all going to be together. We're actually going to make an effort to be together, and we're going to do more than just be, a few people on StreamYard yapping away like everybody else. They pretended like they were better than everybody. They have shunned me, the CEO of this network. They were even saying on their stupid show tonight, oh, we don't want to go through manners. And John from Scranton didn't even bother to fucking turn up, send them a message, do anything tonight. And Justin Trudell saved the day, apparently. But there were no calls. They didn't reach out to me. Manners, can you help? They pretended like they were better than me. But then what did they do? They produced the same show that every other Minifan does. They were on StreamYard talking about the show. And what's worse is Pat Ford, well, better for maybe the viewers, but worse is Pat Ford wasn't even there for most of the show. He disappeared to look after his dumb kids. So those fucking assholes pretending that they were better than everybody and then doing that. Now, honestly, they can do Hot Wieners every night, StreamYard on the network. It's fine. They are nice guys. They're mildly amusing, but just don't go into studio and pretend like you're better than the network, pretend that you're better than me, pretend that you're better than all the other Minifans, because I'm sorry, Pat Ford, you're no different to Kane. In fact, you are way creepier and way more of a weirdo than Kane. I would say Beanbag Ron probably never shit on me, but did he defend me? No. Did John and Warren defend me on the network? No. So all of them are going to cop it. Because if you're going to produce that piece of shit after going in and yapping on the main show about how good you'd be, you're going to cop it. I'm sorry. Now, as I've said, my feedback to them has been public and private, but all I'll say to them is I'm here to help. Despite these comments, if you need anything in the future, do reach out, but just don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this bullshit. You're just like Kane. Basically, the three of you are Kane times three. That was like a three Kanes on screen today. So don't do that shit again because it really fucking annoyed me. It really fucking annoyed me. Honestly, the fact that we got that after everything you said, just very, very, it's kind of amusing. Like I should just take it in, because when Pat Ford fails, it is satisfying, and we get to see it very, very often. I mean, he fails all the time, but yeah, I guess I should rejoice in that, the failing of Pat Ford. But yeah, hopefully they'll do better. I hope they get together. I hope they do some shows in person, because they've said they would. They said they're going to be better than everybody else. Well, tonight certainly wasn't better than everybody else. So yeah, as CEO, I know I should be supportive of shows on the network, and I just didn't like the attitude from that they showed on the main show. Like, as I said, do a show on StreamYard every night. I don't care. Anyone's welcome to, but just don't shit all over me while doing it and pretend you're better than the network. Here's Pat Ford's performance tonight. Look at him. For most of the time he wasn't there. There's no way those degrees are real. Look at his two co-hosts, absolutely stunned and disgusted at Pat Ford. So yeah, just a huge fail. I think so. The biggest loser tonight was Pat Ford, and then Ron and John not far behind. So I guess that's really Tiny CEO. So on Hot Wieners, what's happening on the network? Billboard Chart Guy, excellent episode dropped yesterday with PRC. So go and listen to that. So as you probably know, Billboard Chart Guy show and Mama K show, both primarily audio products. I have sort of done it so a video will appear on the network with no, just an audio video eventually appears on the network, but you'll get it first on podcast apps. And like Minifandom, there are some shows that are made for podcasting. You know, they're better listened to when you're doing stuff, well, like you would a normal podcast, you know, whether you're exercising, washing, ironing, whatever. You know, YouTube shows and podcasts do have a slightly different flavor. So Minifandom is primarily a podcast. It's long form conversations, and I'm going to be doing more of them. As I've said many times, I just cannot do this roundabout with Dave Cullinane and Justin Trudell anymore. So, you know, it's really breaking my heart where we are with the main show at the moment. So, you know, I'm recording this on Tuesday in Australia, but, you know, it's Monday night in America, and tomorrow morning Dave Cullinane returns, and here we go again, just on the roundabout. And as I said, KMS shouldn't be stale. It should be exciting. It should be fresh. You know, Kirk made the wrong decision. He's made the wrong decision again, you know, bringing Cullinane back. I can't just keep going around complaining, even though I'm doing it now. So, you know, I haven't given up on Mena's Live. So breaking news, I had a long text chain with John from Scranton last week, and Mena's Live is going to be pivoting. So it's going to become, I guess, look, it's not pivoting a lot, but it's going to have guests on. It's going to be more like a late night talk show. It's going to be less of a reaction show. We will take calls sometimes, but the problem is all the calls are just going to be about how bad the producers are. So I don't know whether we'll take calls as often, but it's still going to be there. But, you know, John still wants to work with me. He wants to work on the network. So I think it's good if he and I can get guests on and do shows. But it's going to be sort of, Mena's Live, Minifandom type thing where we try and celebrate the fandom a bit more. And so Mena's Live will be continuing, not as often, slightly different flavor. Mena's Minutes, if there is something to react to, I will do one. But I can imagine in many shows over the next few weeks, after 30 minutes, they're going to have run out of topics or interesting topics. And I just can't jump on every episode and say, Kirk is carrying the show, Justin and Cullinane suck, yada, yada, yada. That is stale. They're stale, and I don't want to be stale as well. So, you know, that's just the way I'm feeling at the moment. John and Warren, you know, on Hot Wieners tonight made a good point that, you know, we haven't heard much about Socko. And I was thinking after that there's no way Justin has done anything for Socko. He barely has booked the third chairs for the show. Cullinane won't have done anything. He hasn't been working for the show. And Kirk will have obviously been thinking about it because he's the only one that carries the show. So I can imagine at Socko we're not going to get much. You're not going to get much. I'm not going to be there, unfortunately. You'll just get a regular show, which will be great. All the Minifans will be, you know, together, and it'll be a great social event. It'll be a great social event. It'll be well worth the money just for that. But it'll just be that, maybe a video. We'll definitely get a Mutt video, for example, probably some joke about the Mutt audio blog. Anyway, but it's a good point. Probably they haven't done much. So, you know, look, that's the future of the network. It is humming. It is absolutely humming. But, you know, I'm just going to end on this. Pat Ford, you fucking failed tonight. You piece of shit. You shit all over everybody, and you big note yourself. You pretend you're going to do this great show, and you did fuck all. You couldn't even make it to the StreamYard recording. And, you know, Ron and John, again, you know, stick it up your ass for that, because, you know, you didn't defend me, you didn't defend the network, and you just put out the same show that every other Minifan has done on StreamYard talking, which I would love more of those shows. I still think there's value in them, but, you know, just don't pretend you're going to be anything different to us. All right. Thanks for tuning in to Tiny CEO.